Hi guys, how you all doing? My name is Model. Welcome back to my channel. For the new subscribers, feel at home. For the existing one, thank you for staying and coming back. May God bless you. So, this past 2 weeks, I've been reading the book of Proverbs. That is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1. And it says, the wise woman builds a house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. The meaning for this particular verse: so a wise woman strengthens, nurtures, and establishes a home. A foolish woman damages or destroys a home through her own actions. Building a home does not mean it's the physical aspect of it, but building a home means building your family, building your marriage, building your children, building your legacy. What legacy are you gonna be leaving for your children? So you start building now. The atmosphere in your home. What tone are you setting in your home? The woman who sets the tone for a house or for a home. So the tone that you set, the atmosphere, and the environment you create in your home, it is the responsibility of the woman, right? A wise woman builds a home by speaking life in every situation, not constantly bringing negativity in everything. You're like the heart of the home. So what are you constantly breathing into your home? How do you speak to your children? Speak to your husband. Speaking life is even when things are going wrong. What are you saying? Are you constantly negative with everything that is happening in the home? Are you constantly arguing over unnecessary things and quarreling and doing all that kind of stuff? Are you patient and practicing self-control? Are you managing your resources wisely? Even with the house helps, are you teaching them on how to manage whatever is in the house? Like if you do shopping, do you teach them how to use stuff? Do you teach them on how to manage the shopping in the house? If you leave them money, are you able to advise them on how to spend that money? Are you creating peace in your home? Ama tu ni chaos saa zote? Are you teaching your children how to have reverence for God, read the word, how to pray, doing things that are correct? A wise woman knows whatever she breathes into her home, how she speaks, how she carries herself in the home, sets the tone and the atmosphere for the home. So if it is not correct, if guys are always not happy in that house, what tone are you setting in your home? What is the atmosphere and the temperature in your environment? The one who is not wise pulls it down with her hands. So the foolish woman tears down her home with harsh words. You're constantly quarreling, you're constantly fighting your children, you're constantly fighting your husband, you're constantly fighting people in the house with your words. We women we talk a lot, we can say things when you're upset, you're throwing words everywhere, you act impulsively. You don't think, you just act. You don't take time to process. If you're upset, you don't remain calm. You disrespect your family, you disrespect your children, you disrespect your husband, you disrespect your in-laws, your own family. It could be your mother, it could be your siblings. You make wrong choices or making informed decisions, constantly creating conflict. Constantly. And there are people like that. Yani saa zote tu, yani ni kisirani. Like even a simple hi, good morning, you're like, unanisalimia na jana ulikuwa wapi? Or maybe you had an issue with your husband that has not been resolved. There you are responding. He just simply said good morning, and there you are carrying bile that has been in the past, and now you're bringing it into the present. A wise woman builds a house by seeking God's guidance. A wise woman controls her tongue. Very hard for most women because we talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and when you're upset, we just keep talking and talking and talking and talking. But as a wise woman controls her tongue. She chooses peace. Even when things are not okay, you choose peace. And also create avenues of how you can solve issues issues at home. You're not constantly dragging issues for so long. You're not constantly getting upset and going on silent treatment on everybody in the house. Remember, you're the one who sets the atmosphere in your house. So if you're actually not creating that peace, then it becomes very hard for people to actually coexist in that house. This also applies to single mothers. Just because you're single, it doesn't mean you're not building a home. And are you disciplined? Or does it mean just because you're single, you can do whatever you want? How disciplined are you in how you run your home? Are you, because you're single, it means you don't show up at home, you don't cook in your house, you don't clean your house, you don't take responsibilities in your house? How does that look like for you as a single mother? Or is it because you have no one to, over you now, you don't take up, you don't, do what is expected of you because you're not a wife? How does your faith look like in terms of, if you have children, are you taking them to church? Are you teaching them the word? Are you teaching them how to pray? Are you setting the right foundation for your children? Wisdom strengthens a home. Foolishness, you destroy it from within. Mwanamke mjinga haizi jenga boma. Mwanamke mjinga haizi jenga ndoa. This verse speaks about personal responsibility and not a woman being responsible for somebody else's behaviors or being responsible for somebody else's character. Personally, I feel sometimes this verse is misused a lot. The fact that her marriage did not work, she carries that burden of feeling like she was responsible for that marriage not working. Si mwanamke anabomwanga, unabomoa ndoa na mikono zako. Even when things are not right, a woman is blamed because they say a woman builds, a woman destroys her marriage with her own hands. I do not think it should be a verse that is used to attack women, because in most cases we'll even hear aunties and some of our parents saying, you're the one who pulled down your marriage because the verse is in the Bible. So they use the verse to attack you. You hear people telling you all these stories. It is the woman who keeps her home. This verse does not say a woman caused her husband to go and cheat. A woman caused her husband to go having children out of wedlock. Or a woman is the reason why a husband went having children outside them. That a woman is supposed to endure betrayal silently to be considered wise. Yeah? You're going through so much, and you're supposed to remain there. You're not supposed to raise it. You're not supposed to talk about it. You're not supposed to question. You're just there. Silently going through it. Have we not had stories of where a woman is beaten and she's told it's her fault that she was beaten? And even the husband says it's okay. You're the reason I beat you. You said you did. So you're the one who caused it. You're the reason why I went for a second wife. Blaming a woman for things that a whole grown up has decided to do. Carrying the burden of somebody who chose to do the wrong thing to you. You hear even some women say, the reason why my husband married a second wife because I cannot cook. But I needed a helper. As in all sorts of excuses to justify his actions. For example, in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 22, it says, whoever commits adultery with a woman lacks understanding. Notice, it addresses the one committing adultery, not the spouse. It addresses the one who commits the sin and not the spouse. So it's a personal choice. It's a personal sin. It has nothing to do with you. Matthew chapter 5, verse 28. Jesus condemns adultery. Again, The responsibility is personal. It has nothing to do with you as the wife or as the spouse. Some unfaithful husbands weaponize this verse like this. If you are wise, I wouldn't cheat. You're the one tearing this marriage down. You're the one tearing this family down. You're the one tearing this home down. That a wise woman should keep her home no matter what. Mwanamke ni kuvumilia ndoa. That's what we are usually told. Please don't get me wrong. I know marriages as it's ups and down, but there's some things that in a marriage are not correct. You can find a woman in a marriage where she's been beaten by the husband, she's been cheated on, she's even getting diseases out of the adultery and etc. And when you go out there, when you go back home, you go back to your aunties, you go back talking to your relatives about whatever is happening, or even seeking counsel, getting help from people who you look up to help you. They're telling you, oh, mwanamke ni kuvumilia ndoa. Rudi kwa Bwana uvumilie. Hakuna ndoa iko rahisi. Why would you advise her to go back to a marriage that is actually a danger to her? Uvumilia ndoa zinakuanga hivyo, hata sisi tulivumilia. I don't think people should live in marriages when you're miserable. You shouldn't be miserable. And I'm not saying that people should just be walking out of their marriages with small things. I'm talking about issues that you know very well are going to affect you emotionally, mentally, even physically. Cheating will bring you diseases. So avoid this people telling you, oh, ndoa ni kuvumilia, oh, ndoa, even as you went through it, so just sit there and make it work. It takes two to make a marriage work, not one person. Even for those guys who go for counseling, it takes two people who are willing to go for counseling to save the marriage. It can never be one. It can never be, because in most cases you find women, when we find our marriages are not working, we go for counseling. We go for counseling and you're there being counseled, you're being told this and that and the other, and you're there trying to save your marriage. Yet, your partner is not even there. Because for some men, they feel going for counseling is a sign of weakness. You're not able to take charge of your marriage. You're not able to be the head of your home. So you find a man has refused to go for therapy. A man has refused to go for counseling, because going for this thing is not a sign of weakness. It shows that you're out to save your marriage. It shows that you really want to make things work in your marriage. So nothing to be ashamed about. Yeah, remember, you're two people from totally different backgrounds, and at some point in marriages you need help, and there's nothing wrong with seeking it. Go for therapy, go for counseling, get help if you're both willing to save the marriage, because you can't save a marriage on your own. You both need to be there. Wisdom does not mean accepting abuse. Wisdom does not mean tolerating betrayal. Wisdom does not mean silencing your pain. It is not wisdom. Where you're going through so much and you're just quiet in the name of saving your marriage. That is not wisdom. You're gonna crash. Wisdom does not mean carrying blame that is not yours. No wife, no matter how imperfect she is, forces a man to commit adultery, forces a man to hit her, forces a man to mistreat her. We are not perfect beings, and no matter what a woman does, is not a reason for a man to behave in this manner. Building your house may look like setting boundaries, refusing emotional manipulation, seeking counseling, teaching your children emotional health, walking in truth instead of fear. Sometimes we fear and we keep saying, oh, what will people say when I leave? How will it look? You know, if I seek help, how will my marriage look like? Don't let someone else's sin define you. Kila mtu abebe msalaba yake. Woman to woman, a wise woman is not one who absorbs betrayal quietly. Wetu ni kuweka tu ndani. It is okay, it is okay, it is okay. So you keep absorbing and being quiet. You don't raise it, you don't talk about it in the name of building a home. You shrink to keep a man comfortable. He can do what he wants to do. You shrink, you even lose yourself, you lose your own identity, you lose your own value, you lose your self-worth just to keep him comfortable. He can do what he wants to do. Si ataenda atarudi. Ataenda azunguke huko nje atarudi. Akitoka si wangu, akiingia ndio wangu. That's the kind of language you use. That's shrinking yourself. Why would you shrink yourself to a point where you think your husband is for the world? He's supposed to be yours and yours alone. So what do you mean by akienda ni wa dunia, akirudi ndio wangu? So if this video is personal to you, I just want you to know that you're not foolish because somebody broke the covenant. You're not tearing down your home because you're confronting wrongdoing. If something is wrong, confront it. It should be okay for you to confront things that are not right in your own marriage or in your own home. So if this is personal for you, you're still wise, you're still valuable, you're still capable of building something beautiful. Even as a single mother, you can still build something else. You can still start all over. Your strength is not measured by how much mistreatment you endured or you tolerate. Is not proven by how quietly you endure or tolerate betrayal. True wisdom is rooted in reverence for God, because the Bible tells us the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So if you have no reverence for God, then you cannot have wisdom. And God is never honored by injustice being ignored. You cannot say you honor God when all these things are happening to you and you're just quiet, you're just tolerating, you're just saying you're very strong and it is okay for you to continue tolerating whatever is happening to you. So if this touched you, you're not alone. And if you need to hear it again, you're not tearing down by confronting sin. There's nothing wrong with confronting things that are happening in your home, in your marriage, in your family, and you're protecting what is sacred, and there's nothing wrong with that. So keep going. Don't let that verse be twisted against you. Don't carry the burden of what some of these people are doing in your life. Know that you're valuable and know that you're worthy. Set boundaries, protect what is yours. May God watch over you as you navigate whichever season you're in. May God lead you, guide you in all that you do. So that is all I had to share today. May God bless you and take care of yourself and each other. Bye-bye.